We're going to make a nice dish with these U10 shrimps. That means there are 10 or less to a pound. And what a nice size they are. So you take a knife, first thing is cut as deep as you can without going all the way through, like so, because when you cook these, what will happen is they will curl up nicely and just look like this on the plate. And since you need a stock, so we have the skin. Never throw this out, always cook this. I do it all the time. We're going to add water to that, and we're going to boil that. And I'm also going to put in there some white wine. So that's enough right there. And I'm going to put a cup of white wine right in it. We're going to cook this down and reduce it until there's about less than a cup of liquid. And then over here we have the rest of the ingredients. We got fresh baby spinach in the rear there, shiitake mushrooms, and my right there, this frozen basil puree, which I keep in the freezer all the time, some shallots, garlic, and a little heavy cream. And I'm going to use butter in this recipe today. And it's because my wife is going to eat it, and it'll just taste better with the cream and a little butter. So this is going to have to cook down. And while that's cooking down, I'll go about cutting everything up and setting up the shrimps. The shrimps I'm going to season with just some salt and pepper. I did say clean the shrimps too. A salt and pepper mix, and dust it in flour. Why? Well, that way whatever moisture and liquids that go into the pan at the end will be absorbed, and that flour acts somewhat like a roux. It's not a lot, but it's enough to do what I want. So this will take a little while, and that's the time you spend on cutting everything up. And this is going to be quick, and everything is done in this one pot. So after I clean the shrimps, you want to season them with a little salt and pepper. And then mix them around, and then we're going to throw them into the flour. And after you mix up the shrimp, taste your finger. It's okay, it's seafood raw. You can eat it raw, so you can taste your finger. It's not like chicken. Now that we have this in the flour, just toss it well. Make sure it's coated. And then before we put it in, we'll just give it a little shake, and we'll put it into there. So now the shrimps are set up. And everything else is cut up. I had taken just 1/8 of a cup of the puree of basil, that's with olive oil, and there's everything else ready. The shallots, mushrooms, garlic, everything's going in there. Now it's cut very thin, the julienne. The mushrooms are thin. How long is this going to take to cook? No longer than the shrimps. So I'm still waiting for the stock to reduce, because there it is cooking in the back. And I'll just sit down and relax until that reduces. Okay, this looks like it's reduced quite a bit. So we'll just pour it through the chinois. And I'm going to put that back into the pot and reduce it some more. At least this way I know exactly how much I have. When it's with the skin, you can't really tell. So we got everything ready. The stock is down, the spinach is there. Have a moderate flame. Once we add the shrimps, everything else goes right on top. There's butter and olive oil in there. Put the shrimps in, shake them a little. Okay, now we're going to raise the flame because everything else is going to give off some liquid. And we want to get done here. We don't want to prolong this. Give it one stir. And then we're going to add the spinach, which will just shrink right up. So now we're on a high flame. Remember, the only thing that we seasoned were the shrimps, but now we added the spinach and the mushroom, which does not take a lot of seasoning because that's going to shrink up to nothing. So we just put a little. Got a little pink on one side of the shrimp. And once we add the stock and the cream, this will really finish up. And then I'll go get I made sticky rice to go with this. With a nice presentation on the plate. Now you could use more shrimps than this. But I bought a 5-pound box, and I want to be able to make a lot of different recipes with it. And you know what? 4 of these is enough, unless you love shrimps. Then you have to have 6. Okay. Now we're going to go with how much stock we have there. We're adding a cup of heavy cream, and let's see how much stock we have. We're going to add whatever this is. That's about 3/4 of a cup. That's good. I don't want to have too much liquid in there. Give it a little mix. Now a very high flame. And this will finish cooking and thicken slightly. And the basil. It's a great item to have, this puree of basil with olive oil in the freezer, ready to use whenever you need it. And it's more concentrated than if you go buy a package. Now while this going to be good. You know why? It's reducing, it's going to get a little thickness because I don't want it too watery on a plate. Spinach is done. What seemed like to be a lot in this skillet turns out to be a lot less because spinach shrinks. And the shrimps I will turn one more time. Let this reduce nicely. That's why I got a high flame. And I think that the amount of liquid, well, we have to taste this. Just a drop more salt. If it tastes good, that means you put enough salt. If you taste it and you go, something's missing, well, guess what that something is? Salt. Okay. One more taste. Good to go. Lower this. Just to hold it. Turn these shrimps. We're going to take them out. I'll bring the plate over with the rice and we'll make something that looks nice. That rhymes with rice. So in order for the rice, the sticky rice I made, it is the same rice you use for sushi. And the presentation means a lot when you're cooking, so I put a little olive oil in the bowl, press the rice down, and there you go. We're going to make 2 plates like this. And we're going to eat it right away. So we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 shrimps, and the topping. Let's use a ladle because we do need that sauce. And if you notice the sauce, great consistency, not watery, just right. And this, wow. And there you go. How's that? That's pretty and it's going to taste good. So I hope you enjoy it.